Agreed. Greetings and salutations.
The universe is just doomed. 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 Doomed.
Hi, welcome back.
It's us, Nicole.
And Tessa.
And Liana is here.
I forgot.
Clovis the Attack.
That's right.
Because we're doing Sleepwalkers,
Ooh,
1992.
We are opening up Spooky Month.
I feel like this was the second Stephen King movie I saw. Maybe.
I
it was an early one.
Because it was on TV. I feel like it was on TV. I definitely didn't see it in theaters in 1992.
I don't think I would have
definitely
been 12.
saw it on TV. And since then, we had this included. It had to be included when we did the King of Kings marathon. Remember we did that Pauly Shore and Pizza Party, and then we did the King of Kings where we watched Stephen King movies. And this one, we all voted. We had to have Stephen King's Sleepwalkers because it's insane.
Because Cruel Intentions was just a warm-up for the incest, baby. Those were only step-siblings.
These are
mother and son.
Yes.
And I told Tessa, I have watched this a lot of times, but I hadn't watched it in probably 5-10 years. Like I'd seen bits of it. Like when it comes on TV, I'll leave it from whatever part, but I hadn't watched it beginning to end.
Yeah.
And I thought that I made up in my head how much incest was in this.
No.
And then I got to the end and was like, oh no, that's a lot of
Because I could
scenes.
tell you, watching it on television, of course, there's not as much in your face.
Some of it out.
Like, they cut out a lot of like.
Because I thought it was
parts.
like hinted at, but no.
When you watch it on TV, it is. But even the suggestion is so over the top. There is no question.
Is that right off the top when you meet them?
It's
we'll
like,
get there in just
like
a second because it gonna happen right away.
Super quick, like almost immediately after we finish the cast list.
They make sure you do not have any questions about the nature of this relationship. And that you don't forget at any point.
No, they will
the
not
film.
let you forget.
It's only 90 minutes and probably there's 9 scenes.
Every single time I see Alice Krige in anything,
you think of Sleepwalker's mom.
I think she's going to fuck her son. Her cat son.
Yeah.
Cat mama is going to fuck her cat son. So anyway, Alice Krige is in this movie. She's Mary Brady.
And her son is played by Brian Krause, Charles Brady.
We have Mädchen Amick
as Tanya Robertson.
And then Cindy Pickett and Lyman Ward.
You know, Ferris Bueller's parents and real life married couple.
As Mr. and Mrs. Robertson.
Jim Haney as they just listed him as Ira, but he was like the sheriff,
right? Like
everyone just calls him Ira, I guess.
And there wasn't even like a picture. I had to go look.
Yeah,
and I was like, who is that?
It was just a black and white thing, or like a symbol for where there should be a picture.
Sure,
weird.
But yeah, that was weird. So we got Dan Martin as Andy Simpson.
Glenn Shadix as Mr. Fallows.
Ron Perlman as Captain Soames.
And we have a whole slew of cameos by other horror writer-directors.
Well, we also have to mention Cynthia Garrison there as Laurie because she is Cynthia and Mick Garris.
Yes, the wife of Mick Garris, the director, because this was directed by Mick Garris, written by Stephen King. Got to mention that Mark Hamill has a cameo in there.
Uncredited cameo right in the beginning.
And Bo Jesse Christopher.
Bo
Jesse Christopher was up in there.
I didn't even know.
He was the high school student who Otho slaps the ruler on the back of his hands.
Little Bo Jesse Christopher and his cheek bones.
How'd you miss them cheekbones?
How did I miss it?
Could have cut yourself.
You could.
But yeah, the whole crime scene crew.
We have
John Landis,
John Landis,
Joe Dante, Clive Barker, Stephen King, and Toby Hooper.
Right, as
are all crime scene investigator
lab techs. And I guess
techs.
this is the only time you ever see Stephen King and Clive Barker in the same place
at the
same time.
I thought his quarrel was with Dean Koontz. I didn't know he had a quarrel with Clive Barker.
I don't think he does. It was just a thing that they mentioned.
I wonder if that's true about that Stephen King likes to go sign Dean Koontz books.
That's hilarious, and he likes
to autograph Dean Koontz books.
Especially if it pisses Dean Koontz off.
Because it makes Dean Koontz mad. Koontz. And now, do they make movies of his books? Because I read at least one of his books as a child, which I know I've told you about.
I don't think that one, but that one was incesty, wasn't it?
I want to see a movie of that one. That one was, I got to look it up.
I feel like it was John C. McGinley, and it was really fucking good. It was like a mini series because they would do like Dean Koontz mini series.
Okay.
And then they would also do Stephen King
mini
series. Yeah. And they're always good. I always enjoy them.
Yeah, but that's something that doomed me is that fucking Dean Koontz book.
Yeah,
and sure, Stephen King too. I read, you and I both, and you probably too, Liana, all read Stephen King at like what, 10
and whatever. Yeah.
Way too early.
Oh,
like
yeah.
when you should not.
I mean, but
know
to
any
be
of these
fair,
words.
I'm also reading V.C. Andrews and also
it
R.L.
starts
Stein,
with like
Christopher Pike.
Exactly.
I'm also in my own age group, but then you venture into
Because Mom has in the family bookshelf,
yeah, of course,
the whole collection of Stephen King and Dean Koontz.
I read my
like,
mom's copy of The Exorcist when I was like 13 years old. She let me read it. I told you.
Read The Exorcist. I can't remember.
It's like reading Jaws. Like there's all kinds of other shit.
More stuff.
There's more stuff. It's all intense.
And I feel like I must have read Sleepwalkers. It was a
feel
book,
like
right?
It's a short story.
Was it a short story? Okay.
I don't know because I don't think I've ever read it.
Because I was thinking. I know I read like Tommy Knockers when I was like 10.
I don't think
and
I've ever read
when I was like 11.
I've read It. I've read Carrie, Gerald's Game,
Needful Things,
Dolores Claiborne.
Yep.
I mean, like a lot of the short stories too, because I like the short stories.
Yeah.
But I don't believe I've ever read this
come
one.
to think of it, because I don't remember knowing any more about the Sleepwalker characters. It was just this, yeah.
And it was all that neon. It was one of those ones that had the cool cover when you would go to like the video store and you would see that like pink and blue and neon green.
Totally.
And like those weird ass cats. You're like, what the fuck is going on in this movie? Like, oh, some weird ass shit.
So it opens up right away with, just so there's no confusion about what a sleepwalker is.
It is a nomadic shape-shifting creature with like human and feline origins.
Vulnerable to the deadly scratch of the cat.
Which doesn't make sense.
Well, you're half cat.
I don't understand how cats...
That part doesn't make sense to me.
Okay, we'll get into that
Another
later,
animal you'd think, a dog or something, right?
Yeah, or something like, I don't know, but not another cat.
And they feed on the life force of virginal human females.
And it is the probable source of the vampire legend.
And I looked up this encyclopedia of arcane knowledge, and the only thing that came up was references to sleepwalkers. So I don't think that's from anything.
They just made it out. I mean, Stephen King be doing that shit.
And then cat scratch on the screen and flames.
Oh, I wrote that shit. I was like,
getting into it.
So we're in Bodega Bay, California.
And Sheriff Mark Hamill is on the beach at some sort of crime scene.
They're like, what the fuck do you think happened here?
All we know at first is a mother and son are missing, because you're like, it's just showing you them
and
the
talking
beach. And then it
like,
turns around and there's just fucking...
There's like dead cats, like they're hung from like,
up like wind chimes.
Like, what the fuck happened here? And they're like, we haven't seen the car, we haven't seen the kid, we haven't seen the mom. They've been missing.
So yeah, mom and a son are missing, and all you know is there's just all these cats strung up, and then that Enya music starts.
Oh, ready or not, you
not that one.
Gonna find you. Yeah, no,
and they go inside the house and they hear like,
oh, and they're like, oh, what the fuck is that? And cat jumps out.
And now for a second, I had to keep an eye on what that cat looked like, because the way that cat took off, and because Clovis, I was like, wait, was that Clovis or
it's
was
like
that
General in Cat's Eye?
Yeah,
like
it went. It followed him to the next town and recruited more cats.
But then how would Andy already have him like all
with the little
and
with his little collar on with his name and everything?
His little collar on.
So yeah, probably not.
No.
So yeah, this cat jumps out and scares the shit out of him. Oh, and behind it,
oh shit! It's like this desiccated body with braces.
So yeah, you can tell it's a young girl because it's got braces and a school uniform on.
It's a little girl
with a red rose in her hair.
What the fuck is this?
And then under the opening credits here, we get all these illustrations of cat,
like
or we get cat statues and idols.
It's like Egyptian shit and Renaissance shit. And
the one that really stands out is the cat mom with the big nipples? Titties.
Right.
Breastfeeding a little human baby.
Yeah. Because that happens.
And they leave that one on the screen for extra long.
Right. They're like, just so you know.
Absorb this image.
Right. Take this in, because this is going to become very important very soon.
So yeah, it sets up everything you need to know basically about, between the definition you got in the beginning and these illustrations and whatever. This is all you need to know about Sleepwalkers.
Stephen King, Sleepwalkers.
So Travis, Indiana.
Yes, we have gone from California to Indiana all of a sudden, and now Richie. I can't help it.
And now it turns into La Bamba.
I can't help it. What about me? What about Bob?
Did they just like? Is it because the name of that song is Sleepwalker and it makes us sound like a cat? Is that how they came up with the name?
Maybe, I don't know. He just likes it. It's his favorite. He's just hanging out listening to
so young Brian Krause, shirtless in his jeans.
I know, reading a comic book.
No, he's reading the yearbook.
Oh, that's
for
right.
the local high school.
That's right. And he like starts carving into his arm.
He carves a T into his arm, and underneath there are scars of old letters that he has carved into the same spot.
Forever.
And why?
I know.
Is that just to mark this is your next victim, like for his own personal
You want him to
knowledge?
spray? Because either that or he's going to spray.
That would have been hilarious, though.
If he would have like,
if they could have worked in a weird thing where, like, in that cemetery scene or something, he like backs up against a headstone.
That's how he does the rubbing. She's like, "What do you use? Stick or powder?" He's like, "Cat piss."
He's like, "Liquid," or that's how he makes her pass out or something. He's like.
That would have been fantastic,
right? Like some sort of a fart spray.
Yeah. This is a missed opportunity.
So in the yearbook, he's got a heart over the picture of Tanya. And his mom's watching this cat outside the window.
Oh,
and
she's like all stressed out all the fucking
time. They have all these traps outside for the cats, right?
Right.
And inside the traps, they have put food.
Yes. I don't know, bitch.
You're leaving cat food or meat in your yard. I wonder why you keep getting more cats.
This is like where you used to live. We used to call that the Sleepwalker house.
There was a house that
so
as soon as we moved in, it was like that whole block had a stray cat problem, but our yard specifically because it was shady.
Neighbor was a sleepwalker. I'm pretty sure.
Kept to himself.
I never seen him the whole time you lived there.
We did see him sometimes, but
did he have a Trans Am?
No, he did not. Not that I ever saw. He had a lawnmower. He was the lawnmower man.
Oh shit!
That's what
we were talking about that earlier too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no!
We never saw him drive anywhere, but he would mow people's lawns in the neighborhood. So he would walk up and down the street with his lawnmower.
He was literally a lawnmower man. Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay.
So the trap goes off, but it misses the cat, and she's all pissed. And her son comes up behind her like, "Oh, it's okay, Mom."
Yeah, they get
Let's dance
uncomfortably close, like immediate interaction. You're like,
and like, I don't know if his dad died when he was a baby, and it was just him and Mom. I guess some people are weirdly close, but this is not.
No, that's not it.
This is not it.
That's not it.
And so he asked her to dance, and he's telling her, he's going to go to the movies tonight to talk to this girl he likes that works there.
Is she nice?
Are you jealous?
I'm concerned.
Should I be jealous?
Oh,
and then she kisses him the way that no mother should.
No, you should not kiss. Nope.
And
no.
he's like, "Oh, mother," and he picks her up and carries her up. And so we're 2 minutes into maybe 5,
just
maybe
beyond the end of the credits.
Yes, we've just gotten past
we have just gotten on the other
credits.
side of the opening credits. We have established immediately.
And they continue to kiss as he carries her up the stairs.
Ew.
And then we get a shot from the outside of the house where there's like this
purple
glow,
light.
like wow, 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 coming out the window.
In the window.
Because,
that's what happens when you sleepwalker. Fuck.
Yeah, I don't know.
Cat dick?
Is that when he comes? Is like,
what?
What makes the glowing?
No, I don't know. They're like sucking life force back and forth.
Oh, weird.
Because is that what she means? Or does she mean to bring her?
No, she's going to suck it out of his mouth. Yeah, once he sucks it out of
like
the girl,
a baby
she sucks
bird?
it. Mm-hmm. I think so.
Mick Garris.
Oh, this is from Mick Garris. Wait, Liana has something here. Let me scoot the mic.
It was to show that the blue glow that he sucks out of Tanya, he sucks the life force out of virginal women and feeds it sexually to his mother.
Oh, it comes
feeds
out
it
of
sexually to. So he comes the life force into
exactly what's happening. So why is it?
I was only kidding.
That was my joke guess.
No, he wasn't.
Mr.
Garris.
Garris.
Mr. Garris. Who wrote this down? You?
I mean, I
or
guess
Stephen
sperm
King?
is a life force, so...
You know what?
No,
Stephen King's known for some questionable fucking shit, so...
Stephen King actually is responsible for us not seeing it because he said,
So
he
Mick
said
Garris wanted to
absolutely
show
not.
it, and Stephen
He
King
wanted
said
to
no.
make it very clear. Mick Garris was responsible for wanting to make it very clear, and Stephen King said no.
yes.
Okie dokie.
A rare,
We've learned
rare
something about you,
restraint
Mr. Garris.
from Mr. King.
So after banging his mom and presumably eating that delicious meal she was cooking, because I guess
Oh.
they eat food too.
I almost threw up. I know. She was like, she had that raw chicken out next to her fruit. She was not practicing good kitchen safety rules of any sort. Maybe because she's a cat person, you could do that shit.
Their stomachs must be indestructible.
Like a cat. It was like raw fucking.
She can't even say it. Raw chicken.
That was.
So yeah, he bangs his mom. He eats the delicious meal, and then he goes to the theater where tickets are $5.
You know what was $5 my small soda?
Yeah,
Actually,
$5.75.
$5.75. Mm-hmm. For my small soda that I didn't even want to drink because we were in the middle of the goddamn theater, and I'm an old lady and I might have to pee.
I don't have to know for next time. We'll get us aisle seats.
Right, we gotta get aisle seats, bitch.
I just got the middle because to be in the middle of the screen, I
to
didn't
see
even
the
really
whole
think.
thing.
Well, because I didn't think it'd be that many people either.
Also that.
There was a lot more people than I expected.
Also that. Well, because that's what happens when it's like $12 a ticket instead of like $20 a ticket.
We found the quote unquote cheaper theater that was only $12 on a matinee.
You know what?
instead
You
of $20.
see where that fucking money goes when you go hit that recline on
That's
that fucking
true.
chair.
Regal's
you
got
see
them
where that fucking money goes.
electronic reclining seats.
I hate it just as much because I don't like going to the movies, but you see where that fucking money goes when you get to sit in that chair.
They're
Compared,
paying off those fucking seats.
they must be.
So we see Tanya in there sweeping the floor with her Walkman on. She's got one of those. What do they call the roller
I don't know,
sweeper?
but it was like it does fucking nothing.
I know, it just moves.
does
It just
fucking nothing.
flings the gum
we had
around.
one of those at the movie theater when you worked out there because he got that weird carpet. So if in case you like throw up on it, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like if you get stains, it's no big deal because it's confusing.
There's enough patterns on it. It doesn't matter.
Right, and that's exactly why they do it. But they're showing They Bite and Scream Dreams, and she's got her Walkman on. Her Walkman.
And she's gonna buy a Walkman. Jimmy whispers.
Walkman.
Buy a Walkman. I can't. What is it he says? He's like a. It's lazy farmer in Aztec.
Having a Philly cheesesteak.
And later she'll buy a Walkman. Anyway, she's got her Walkman on.
Walkman on.
And she's doing the mashed potato. Do
Mashed
the split.
do the twist. Tell me, baby. She's like in her own
is,
little. They must not
feeling
have sold
herself.
many fucking tickets.
It seemed like it must have been like the last showing where she thought
they were
nobody's
like
coming
cleaning
after
up
this.
and shutting shit down or whatever. And here come Charles.
She runs smack into him.
Oh no!
Spill popcorn everywhere.
Yep.
He introduces himself and he orders his. Was it a small a mini Mr.
Popcorn
Pibb
and a medium Mr.
Oh, medium.
Pibb. He doesn't put on those airs as like a soda with a medical degree. This is just good old.
Oh,
Mr.
I love me a
Pibb.
Mr.
Ooh,
Pibb.
I
This
love
is
it.
a man of taste.
I know. That's what I said to
That is
girl.
my order.
Girl, I am also going to have a Mr. Pibb. Thank you.
If it is on offer,
Ooh.
I will be having the Mr.
Carbonated.
Pibb.
I'll have a Pibb.
Hell yeah.
I'll have a Pibb.
So we find out he's the new kid in school.
Right. He's
Because she
from-
doesn't recognize him yet
No.
from her class or whatever.
Right. Well, he tells her we've got class together, and she's like, "Oh, you must
The
be
new
new."
kid.
And he's like, "Yeah, from Paradise Falls, Ohio."
So he goes to pay for his little snack, and she's like, "No, just slides that $2 back across." No, I'm sure it was more than that.
Well,
even
that's
in the 90s.
that's how
but-
they make the money. That's how they make the money to get the prints.
And he offers her a ride home after work, but her dad comes to pick her up.
Oh, my dad comes at the end of the night.
She's like, "But what will your girlfriend say?"
I don't have one. I'm new in town.
And she looks all, she cannot contain
No, she
the
cannot.
excitement
She's
on
just-
her face. She's
she's
giving
all
it all
Mädchen
away.
Amick about it.
Yes, she is.
She's so cute.
She's adorable.
I mean,
they both have these very charming smiles.
they're like, yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you would totally. Well, no, I wouldn't. He's not really my.
I'm not like hot for Brian Krause, but
No.
in this, they were when you didn't
I mean,
know
if he was gonna
how
be
evil he
charming.
was.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He could have continued to be charming. There was no reason
For him to turn like he did. Yeah,
No.
that was unnecessary. So she goes out at night and her dad's fallen asleep
course.
at the
He's
wheel
right there.
in front of the theater.
right outside waiting to pick her up like he's supposed to.
But Charles watches from the shadows.
Oh, he's like over there watching, seeing, make sure. And he whispers, Tanya. He's Johnny Whispers.
Yes.
Charlie Whispers.
And he walks home and some officer stops him, shines a light in his face when he gets home because his mom has called the police.
Right, to come get this
About
cat.
a cat.
This Travis, Indiana must not have a whole lot of going on.
Yeah, he's got this angry cat in a bag.
Yeah.
And the cop takes off and he comforts his mom again. I'll set more
She's like,
traps
I'm
in the
really
morning.
allergic.
Yeah. And she's like, did you bring me anything?
Oh no, I couldn't. But they talk about Tanya. She's nice. She's pure.
Yeah, and so she's rushing him to ask Tanya out, and he's like, who would go out with what nice girl would go out with a boy that she just met?
Right, like you have to play the game, Ma.
And when he says he's sure she's pure,
Oh,
Mama's like, 'cause I'm famished.
I'm starving.
And they make out some more.
Yes.
In
then
case you forgot what you just saw
forgot
5
what
minutes
happened.
ago.
Nope, they're still doing it.
It's not a one-time thing.
You didn't imagine it.
It's an all-the-time thing.
It's an all the time. Every time they're in the house, it seems like cats in heat.
And we don't know how long they live or how long, like, this has been their situation or if it was always their situation, if there was a dad ever.
Well, is this where they talk about how they're... No, I think it's later where
Later,
there's
they
no
mention they
other
haven't
ones,
seen
like
any
it's just
others,
them
yeah.
two or whatever. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a real
You never
weird
find out where
situation.
their family is. Other
No,
than the
like
two of
it's
them.
just, as far as we know, it's just them. It's always just been them because...
Because even the Sleepwalkers are like, actually,
Yeah,
we all
like
don't do
girl,
that.
we don't
Like,
do that shit. That's not a sleepwalker thing. Like, don't get me fucked up. Like, sleepwalkers are not incestuous.
We don't actually need to fuck our moms. That's not a thing that we all do.
No, like we'll fuck each other, but like
Right. But so he reads a story in class. Like what, day one
His
in your
whole
English
fucking-
class, he reveals his whole life story.
And I mean, like, did he leave all the fucking out?
He left all the fucking his mom out and all the killing people out, I think.
Well,
No, but he must have, because he talked about them being like, well,
That they had to be on the run all the time.
and so why else would they have had to unless he was revealing like that they were
Or something
stealing
that they
souls
were-
or like that's
or
what they
something.
live off of or whatever.
Because he calls them sleepwalkers.
Yeah.
Like, that's what they are. So you would assume that there's something that they have to keep running for.
Yes.
And it's like, I don't know. I can't imagine writing that story and standing up in front of the class.
and telling it. So yeah, Otho is the teacher. And the class claps for his story when he's done reading.
It was so good. I really liked it.
And this is where Bo Jesse Christopher gets his
Oh,
hands
Bo Jesse
whacked with the
Christopher,
ruler
keep
for
your hands
passing dirty drawings around.
to yourself,
I suggest that next time you keep your hands to yourself, Mr. Crawford.
Mr. Christopher.
Mr. Bo Jesse Christopher.
Mr. Jesse Christopher.
And Charles and Tanya are making eyes at each other across the classroom. And she raises her hand to say that she liked the story.
And she's like, oh,
And
yeah?
it was different and very sad.
Yeah.
So after class, you see Mr. Fallows. Like he
watching
immediately,
him.
just because
I
this kid gave
know.
him shit about a box has 6 sides, and he
Right.
didn't even say it mean.
No, he just like actually.
He did it
But
actually,
like, I don't know
but
why he decided to immediately
go check
investigate
this
him.
kid's records because he knew a box
and
had
like
6
watch
sides.
him for the. Was he that hot for him?
Because he's like watching him from the window in the empty classroom. Oh, with his peachy folder. Charles got that peachy folder in his hand.
Of course he does. That's
all
all
the cute
he
boys
has.
had the peachy folder.
Of course he
They,
does.
only they just carried that
That's what I'm saying. That's
and
all
nothing
he's got.
else.
That's it.
Well,
And
he had
it
a
was folded up.
textbook. He had a textbook.
Oh yeah, but no, just the folded up, and if it was in the back pocket,
The
of
cutest
their, like,
boys folded it up and put it
shants.
in their back pocket. Yep, exactly. Exactly.
Oh,
So now Tanya's friends after school, or not after school, like during school,
Right.
are talking about, oh, Charles is, oh, you talked to Charles? Like he's wasted on you, you little virgin, basically. Like they didn't say that, but they're like, I'd
know.
bang
she's like, well,
him.
I'm gonna take him to Homeland, and they're like, no, you're not.
Yeah, with your
Liar.
dad. Your dad's gonna be there. They were like giving her all kinds of shit. So Charles comes up behind
does her
her.
dad work there?
No, because her dad picks her up and stuff. I think they mean like he's gonna chaperone her at Homeland,
like fingering session at the cemetery.
I just realized this computer is not plugged in.
Is that bad?
Since we're recording on it, it might be.
Uh-oh.
Pause.
I mean, there's lights on.
I know, but if it dies...
Well, no, not like it's good to plug it in, but that's funny.
Okay, there we go.
Like, is that bad?
It would have been eventually. Okay. So yeah, he comes out after school and he like comes up behind her and says hi.
Right, like, hi, like, do you all want to ride home? And the other two girls are like, no, we're good, but...
They're making BJ motions with their hands
Tanya
as they walk away.
So
he thanks her for what she said in class and is like, you really nailed it.
Yeah. Okay. Nailed what? Nailed
your
me.
Fictional story.
Yeah, that's so cute. And she's like,
I know how they feel.
It was really sad being an outsider and always having to run.
What makes her different? Because she's a virgin. She's like beautiful.
I know.
And and her parents are still together, and it looks like they got plenty of money.
Cool. Like that doesn't seem like a problem.
So she feels so different because she's so innocent.
I don't know. Like, her friends in Travis, Indiana are doing the same shit that she is.
I know.
Anybody saying differently is lying.
Well, then she got extra wet when he not only opened the car door for her, but then walked around the other side and jumped in through the open T-top roof.
Ever heard of a door?
As if you did not just
open your door
sploosh
for you.
your Dukes of Hazzard. He knows how a door works.
He just opened yours.
Right, he clearly knows how. But she gives him that adorable smile because he's like, oh, really? Did you? I heard that somewhere. So Tanya brings this strange boy home.
And straight up to her room.
With no parents home, she thinks.
I think the fuck not, Miss Tanya. I've met your parents. I've met your parents.
But he stops before they get to her room because he notices these grave rubbings framed on the wall.
She's like, oh, my mom's into that. It's kind of weird. And he's like, no, that's actually...
I really like that. I think that's cool.
That's cool.
FYI, those are real rubbings.
Those are real rubbings.
I did see that they're actuals and factuals.
So she has not planned on a boy coming over. So when he enters her room,
She's got underwear everywhere.
I don't care if anyone was coming over. I didn't drape my panties on my fucking bedpost.
Got no
and up on her dresser
clothes.
on her jewelry box.
Like, I know, what's she doing? Throwing them.
They would be on the floor.
Sure.
I might have dirty underwear and all kinds of dirty clothes on the floor at that age, but not draped over
everything.
All manner of things.
She just takes them off and wings them wherever. Yeah, like that was, and it was only underwear. It wasn't like any other dirty clothes.
And those were like silk panties.
Silk panties. Silk
for a girl
stockings.
who ain't getting none.
A virgin?
Who them silk panties for, ma'am? Where's your cotton draws? You need your Mervin's pattern little butterfly
from Sears.
You're like
the
16.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yes. That's the type of girl she was. She was not a silk panty girl.
No, she was not a
she
silk
was a cotton
She was
gonna
get
girl.
like it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable.
You only wear those panties for a man.
Only on a special occasion.
Or if you got a really fancy outfit
wearing
on.
them long, you're not putting them on under your jeans and going to fucking class.
To school, exactly.
Come
if you're
on.
going on a date, sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
If you're planning on, you shaved, you had the everything shower.
Yes. So yeah, she manages to hide all the panties, even the ones right in front of his face, by distracting him with her photography.
Right. She's like, oh, this is my favorite picture.
And she invites him to Homeland, which he's never heard of.
Right. She was like, I was thinking about going there. And because he was like, I want to see what it's like when you see, like what you see, like how you see pictures.
To take pictures. And so she's like, oh, I was going to go take some pictures out at Homeland. Oh, that's an old cemetery, whatever. So then her mom bursts in.
Yeah, she's like, oh shit, sorry, I didn't know you.
And
had
thank goodness
little...
they were standing up and fully dressed,
right in front of the door, and then, with enough room for Jesus.
And she hears them as they're going down the stairs talking about going out the next night. And she's like,
going out tomorrow. She's like,
and him not knowing that's
knows.
the makeout. Well, he doesn't know that's the makeout spot. Maybe he does, but I don't think he would have told her mom that.
I mean, I feel like it was kind of implied because all of a sudden he pulls out this other knowledge where he's like, she goes, oh, really?
Which I have questions about that too, because he does tell her at some point, like he learned this from his mom. Like he is actually out there doing rubbings and he's like, oh, my mom taught me this a long time ago.
Who could say?
So your mom also does grave rubbings?
Either that or he's like really old.
Then that it never explains either. We don't know what their lifespan is. He just picked up all
kinds of shit. Because I figured he was making it up. He's like, he knows things.
Maybe.
I don't know.
So yeah, her mom's like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, what kind of charcoal you use? Because he's like, oh, I'm interested in all that.
Exactly. And she's like, you use stick or powder?
Stick, number 5.
Right, because I'm clumsy.
And then she asks about his father.
I know.
And when he says his dad's dead, she just does not ask any other questions.
Well, because she's embarrassed because she's like pressing or whatever. And she's like, what does your dad do? And he's like, yeah, she's dead, ma'am.
But she's not prying. Like, oh, then who do you live with? Like, keep prying then if you want to pry.
Right, exactly.
You're the mother. You're allowed to do that.
I mean, exactly, but whatever.
Oh, he's right here where Tanya's like, how'd you know all that stuff? And he's like, oh, I learned it from my mom a long time ago.
Weird. That's weird.
So
now he's driving away, like, I'll see you tomorrow, blah, 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 blah.
He's racing down the road in that Trans Am.
And here comes Mr. Fallows, who just pulls him over. Like, what?
In Herbie the Love Bug?
I know. He's like gone full Ted Bundy. He's like, pull over.
Yeah, he just makes him pull over.
Yeah.
And when which he does, and then he comes up to his car, and when he tries to get out, he like slams the door.
I know. And he was like, there is no Paradise Falls. You're not who you say you are. I don't know who you are.
Yeah. Your transcripts are fake.
Protection program,
right?
Mr. Fallows. Like, you don't know.
This guy got real angry over a kid telling him a box has 6 sides. Like, oh my God.
I don't have money because, I mean, just because I have the car, like, it's just the car.
This is all I have.
No. Like, you could blow me. Or
I was going to say, what did this mean? There are other mediums of exchange.
I feel like he was suggesting, he was like, if you let me, like, suck your dick, we're fine.
Because, yeah, it was, because he didn't seem flirty. He just seemed aggressive. But he made that comment about there are other means of exchange. So, like, what else are you asking for?
The
if you don't
only
want
other
money?
means of exchange besides money that I can think of is that ass.
And so he like
gas, grass, or ass. Nobody rides for free.
He tries to get out of the car again, and Mr. Fellows slams his hand in the car door.
Right.
So I guess he didn't want a hand job.
No.
You reckon you're ruining the tools here, bro?
I
what
know,
do you want?
Seriously.
Just mixed signals.
So then he's like, grabs his hand and fucking
just rips it off.
Right off. He's like, you know what? You're right. You should keep your hands to yourself. In fact, here's yours.
And he turns like,
all like
cat face. Yeah.
Man?
So Otto takes off running through the woods, whatever this, off the side of the road
like
into the forest.
On like a culvert or wherever the fuck he pulled him over. And he's like, I'm sorry. We can forget it. Like, really? Your hands off.
Yes. And so he chases him until he runs into a tree and knocks himself out. And then Charles like he eats his throat out or something.
He's like doing all this.
I'm confused about.
He's doing like cat.
I guess. Because it's not like. They don't eat human flesh as far as we know, but
he also didn't. Well, I mean, he tore his hand right off. He's probably just fucking him up.
I guess that's just how he killed him.
He doesn't. Well, he's not a virgin, presumably.
He's like, you're doing nothing for me.
What if he was? He'd be like, well, I got you something.
So his mom's back at home clicking her little red fingernails.
Oh my God!
Clicking and watching the cats gather.
Watching all of these cats and.
That's when we meet Andy and Clovis.
Right. Andy's chilling in his patrol car with his attack cat Clovis.
Teaching him to get bad guys.
I know.
Come on, get the bad guys.
Come on, Clovis. And he's just having a good old time. And here comes Charles tearing ass.
And he takes off after him and calls it into dispatch. He's like, oh, I don't need any backup.
We have one lawless perpetrator.
So Charles, but he's like wiles around and fucking drives back towards him. So he's like, whoa, what the hell?
It's like Street View, Trans Am Cam, Chicken.
And did you see the actual squirrel on the side of the road that blasted off when they... So they were I'm like watching, and I just happened to look up from doing my notes as there's a scene where you can see both cars coming around a turn, and in the dirt, like next to the cars, there's a squirrel that just fucking like hauls ass off the side of the road.
No.
Like, what the fuck?
Wow.
So now he calls like, oh shit, because there's a school bus,
school crossing. Like, oh no, it's like a school. There's kids in the road, and now he's accelerating.
Yeah, he's got this look on his face,
like he's going to hit this kid and just right in the nick, the crossing guard.
Well, and I'm sorry, wouldn't that be a wasted meal? If you just hit a little child,
I know.
A little girl child, is she not a female virgin that you could have eaten her soul?
Escalating this whole situation. Like, you have to live here right now.
Yeah.
Your mom is
You
starving.
haven't got what you need yet. Why are you making shit difficult?
Because he's like a teenage sleepwalker.
He's so got a half chub off just being up in her room because he smelled them panties.
Oh, I'm sure. Because
he may not have got an eyeful, but he's part cat.
Right? He could smell them.
And there was a minimum of 3 pairs of panties laying around.
On the crotches.
He grabbed a pair and stuffed them in his pocket on the way out the
for
room.
A snack.
He lays in bed at night like...
You can hear him.
Or it's like dangling like a string and he's like swatting at it, biting it.
He gets high on the catnip.
Oh my God.
I wonder if that works.
Right? Does catnip work? Interesting. Don't know. So yeah, he almost runs down this little girl. So now Andy calls in for backup.
Right.
But Charles slows down and lets Andy catch up.
Right. And he's like flipping him off. But then here comes Clovis. He pops up.
Well, and what was Clovis waiting for?
I don't know.
Fucking around all this time,
Well, because
Clovis.
it's a cat. Clovis don't give a shit.
So yeah, he puts his head up and meows, and Charles turns into like
Ooh, it's
every
morphin'
variation of
time.
every face he's ever experienced, from child to cat to
all
mid
over, like
between.
to who knows what the fuck is going on there. It's wild.
So it's like, think of, if you haven't seen this, think of like a were-cat, but that turns into a sphinx cat.
A little bit.
That's kind of what their
Kind
final
of.
form is
Yeah.
like.
And again, Stephen King with the fucking cats. He's got a thing with cats. It's probably been said.
Like
but
Tim Burton has a thing with stitched up women.
he sure do.
Just hit my headphones
He
on the
sure
microphone.
do.
Yeah.
He sure do.
So yeah, so
And Quentin has a thing for feet.
yes. So Andy sees the face change, just like, what the fuck? And Charles takes off again because now he's freaked out and he pulls
Right.
off onto this dirt road. And in the dirt cloud,
Right.
he closes his eyes and wishes himself invisible in his
I'm
car.
Invisible. You can't see me.
You know that thing when you were a kid and you closed your eyes
And
during
you're
hide
like,
and
nope.
seek and thought no one could see you?
Can't
it
see me.
works for
It does.
sleepwalkers.
If you're a sleepwalker, it would work. That's how you know.
So in all of the stories I've ever read about shapeshifters,
Right.
they were not ever able
Invisible.
to shapeshift or not to go invisible or
Right.
to shift or make invisible an object.
Yeah, that's what
Like,
I'm saying.
how
Like,
is
you
his
would
power connected to
just
the
turn
car?
into dirt, or turn
Yeah,
into
that maybe
tree,
turn it. Yeah,
or
but
turn
not turn
into fence.
invisible. And he doesn't use the word, but we find out later they call this dimming. That he dimmed.
Oh, right. That's right. It's like tuning.
Yes, like tuning.
But
Dimming.
the cat can see him.
So yeah, the
Clovis
cat's
can
out
see
there
him.
like trying to claw at the window, like meow,
right,
meow.
because Andy comes around. He's like, "What the fuck? Where'd he go?"
Yeah.
But Clovis can see him. He's like, "Well, fuck. I don't know. I lost him. We'll
Stop
keep
looking
him
at
out."
me, you fucking cat! And
Yeah,
you can't
he's
hear
like,
him
"Oh, yeah."
either.
I guess. I don't know how sleepwalking works. If there's any sleepwalkers out there, let us know.
So Andy gets back in his car and pulls away, and the invisible boatmobile starts up, and you see the, you just see the like the dirt,
Right.
and then it turns into a cherry red Mustang.
Oh shit! And off he goes.
Before we find out whether he's
What
ever going to get
happened?
his girl, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Have you ever wondered what the scent of a moment or a character in a film is?
What if you could bottle the way your favorite album makes you feel?
Did we pique your curiosity?
Visit Hex Mundi, a niche perfume house that specializes in creating signature scents with references that conjure up the very essence of nostalgia with pop culture-inspired fragrances for your body and surroundings.
We love what they do, and you will too. Go see what we mean at hexmundi.etsy.com.
That's HEXMUNDI.etsy.com and use code DOOM10 for 10% off.
Get there now.
Later, Doomers.
Take 5. You sure do listen to a lot of podcasts. I bet you even have a few ideas for a podcast yourself. In fact, you just know someone will want to listen to a show about how every episode of Murder, She Wrote has a thematically corresponding episode of The Love Boat. But how do you go about starting your new podcast, Murder, She Boat? Sequoia is the answer. Sequoia Productions is a content creation consultant specializing in podcasts. We have 4 years experience in podcast creation and production, and we can help you every step of the way to getting your show going and growing. From idea to formatting, to recording and editing, etc. Sequoia can even help you think of a catchy, memorable name. Murder, She Boat. We can guide you through the entire process of getting your idea out into the ears and eyes of others. Web design, custom logos and art. How about a bespoke theme song? All created by actual certified human beings. No AI involved. as natural as the mighty sequoias themselves. Your idea is a seed. Let Sequoia help it grow. Sequoia.com. That's SEQUOIDEA.com.
And we're back.
We're back, and Andy is trying to explain
To the sheriff that
what he just saw.
he didn't have no face.
It was weird about his face. They're like, you didn't get a good look at him. He's like, but that's the thing. I did, but I didn't.
It was like a blur.
Right. And like, so did he not see the Mighty
He didn't
Morphin
see
time?
it. Yeah, I guess not. Or he just doesn't know how to explain that.
You would think that you could say, like, I don't know, his face turned into a bunch of weird shit.
Or maybe he's afraid to even say that. He's like,
Maybe.
the best I can do is it's a blur.
Maybe.
So the sheriff's like, yeah, go ahead and leave that part out of the...
The official report. And you know what? You got a lot of sick time coming. Like, you could
Yeah,
maybe
take a break.
take some time off. He's like, you know what? No, I'm going to find that motherfucker.
Because guess what else? Clovis didn't like him. And
Right,
He didn't
and-
like Clovis either.
I know. And I sure as shit didn't like him.
But Andy's determined to find him. He's like, I'll find this motherfucker on my way home from work.
I'm gonna just keep my eye out, because how are you miss in Travis, Indiana,
That blue Trans Am.
a blue Trans Am? Like, I feel like there's maybe one in town that looks just like that.
Probably, yeah. We
Well,
didn't see any others, so.
No. So anyway,
Mom
Charles-
has lit 100 candles
Yes!
to wait.
She is
she
in
was
the
re-
police.
Well, she's ready to eat.
Well, that's also, it's a candlelit dinner.
She's
She's like,
thinks
first
it's
I'm gonna
time
eat,
for
then we gon' fuck.
time for that sexual exchange of life force.
Oh, when she gets that feeling, she needs sexual healing.
So she immediately kisses him, which this is another reason why I thought she gets it from his mouth, because when she kissed him, she's like, you
Yeah,
didn't get
where's-
anything.
Right. Where's my dinner?
And he's like, I just couldn't. It wasn't the right time.
Right.
And she slaps him across the face.
Oh, and she continues
Starving.
to slap him.
Yeah, she fucking just-
bop, bop.
Until he goes to block and she sees where his hand got caught in the door, and she's like,
Oh, my baby.
oh, let me rub some salve on you.
Some salve and unguent.
Yes.
Like it's special or something? Or is that just like a regular old,
I don't know. It seemed like some
like
special,
a special
sleepwalker salve.
Catwalker. What the fuck is a catwalker?
One who walks cats.
Obviously.
When he was a baby, that's who she called to take care of him.
Oh, that's
Catwalker.
right. A catwalker. So yeah, he's like, she's all pissed, whatever. So then there was some more incestuous behavior.
Well, first he tells her, oh, and a deputy saw me, and I dumped a teacher in the woods.
Oh yeah, first they're gonna find that shit, and she's like, "What? Come on!"
And
Dude.
he's all worried because if something happens to him, she'll starve. So now
Yeah.
I don't
Then
understand
why
why
are
she
you-
can't get her own food.
I don't either.
So the female of all females in the sleepwalker species are dependent on a male sleepwalker fucking the life force into them.
I guess so.
Because she's not old where
No.
she could have overpowered this girl coming up here in the kitchen, no problem.
I
She
know.
could walk. She
Because
could
it turns out she's like super fucking powerful.
She could be like a piano teacher. You know what
I
I mean?
know,
Like
and
she could
just
just be like,
lure
"Oh,
them
guess
into the
what?
house."
I give piano lessons to 12-year-old girls," and she could just suck their life force
And I
out.
mean, I don't know what happened. She took off into the woods, and I never saw her
Yeah.
again.
So I'm not sure about this, but apparently she'll
don't either.
starve if he something happens to him.
Right,
So she's
and-
like, "We'll leave right after you feed."
Right. First, you got to feed me, then we're gonna leave. And there's more cats now.
Yeah, it's
amassing
getting
outside.
more, and it couldn't possibly be because every time she puts down a new trap, she fills it with
I
more
know.
food.
If you feed them, they will come.
You now have 20 cat traps full of food in your yard, and the smell is out there, lady. And the word is on the street, in the
word
alley.
is on the
Heathcliff
street in
has
the-
passed it along.
Yes. Garfield knows Heathcliff and the junkyard.
Or yeah, what if you
gang.
catch your neighbor's cat? Like, where are? Do they have neighbors?
They
you
seem
don't
like
see
they were
any.
out in the middle of nowhere. I feel like they have to. That's like part of their. And how do they get these places? It's not like they have pay stubs and like.
They must be really good at forging documents or something, or they're taking over people's IDs or something.
Right?
But
Or
I don't
like
know.
They're eating the people that lived in the house.
Maybe,
before.
could be.
I don't know.
So yeah, but yeah, I just have to know. Probably
they're
leaving
up
all
there
that meat
again.
out there isn't helping.
They go back upstairs, of course, where she's got that charming collection of opera glasses.
Wow. Let's get sweaty. And they get
purple incest, and now in the mirror they're like cat.
you can
people.
see their weird, wet, naked.
Why
Sphinx
are they
cat
wet? They're
Selves.
like the hairless cats.
Well, they were sweaty, so I guess that's just
because
them
it's
being
the-
sweaty.
It's the time. It's 1992. That central AC has not hit the middle of nowhere, Travis, Indiana yet.
Yeah, so they're just,
I wonder if
feeling that.
that's a real place. He says Paradise Falls isn't a real place. Is Travis a real place?
I don't know. Find out.
Maybe we will.
So we see Tanya packing a picnic for their
she's
graveyard date.
Getting ready, and Mom is like, "You better be back by 5. I'm not playing with you."
She's like, I used to be Ferris Bueller's mom.
Right?
I know now.
I know now what he's up to.
And she ain't no fool. She's like, first date with the new boy at the fucking makeout point.
Right?
You'll be home by 5.
Yeah, exactly.
And as soon as she leaves, the mom's like to the dad, like, oh my God, I'm turning into my mother.
Well,
And he's like, well, did he seem nice? Oh, yeah, he's utterly charming. Red flag.
well, I mean, by the time she gets
No
home,
Travis, Indiana?
It's Travisville.
Travisville, Indiana.
Okay. Well, and like, that when she got home after this whole ordeal that's coming up, her mom was like,
I fucking said.
fucking
Did I?
knew it. I told you.
I said.
She didn't seem like she did
No.
that, but I mean, she thought it.
And so I thought maybe they had like magic healing powers, but
No.
Charles's mom is sewing up his wrist with some thread at home, so they don't heal especially fast.
No, well, maybe because they haven't eaten.
Maybe.
They
And
gotta
he's
eat.
like, does it have to be her? So you think here he's starting to get feelings for this girl.
Right. She's a nice girl.
Why are you? And she's like, you care for her more than you care for me. He's like, why are you being such a bitch?
What?
Young man.
Excuse me. I know we're fucking.
Young
but
man.
No, that's
Because
a
I'm
dog.
hungry.
I'm a cat.
And she's like, you can't be in love with this girl, Charles. And then ding dong.
Uh-oh.
He's like, just stay there. I love you, Mom. And it's Tanya. She was not supposed to be there. He was
Right.
going to pick her up.
Right. So she's just shown up there.
Mm-hmm.
Tanya. Eager much?
Eager much. Giving it all away.
I know. You got to have an air of mystery, girl.
And Mom comes up behind him like, oh, lovely to meet you. I love
Who
to see
is
what my
this?
dinner looks like before I eat it.
Right? She's like, let me be all weird.
Yeah.
Let me be
Charles
weird.
said you were nice. He was right. Like, just from looking at her,
Because she could smell it, that it's intact, I guess.
I can't
don't
smell
know.
your pussy. You're
I
nice.
can't smell your pussy, so it's probably fine.
And so she comes in all polite. Oh, you have a beautiful home. And in the mirror, they apparently always... and I'm sorry, how do you get
know.
around that in school?
I don't know.
How does he go to the boys' room? It's full of mirrors in front of every sink.
Well, also because that, and like when she takes the pictures. The
Yeah,
pictures
and
are
he
all
shows
weird,
up cat-like in the pictures, too. So you...
Huh.
I don't know how you avoid mirrors, especially because that's instant. Like the pictures, okay,
Right.
maybe by the time they get developed,
Is that the part that's like Vampire Legend? Is the mirrors
but
thing?
instead of them not having a reflection, they
They're
just can't
cat
see their
people?
human selves in the mirror.
Huh.
Interesting.
Okay.
And she can see it too, and it's not just us seeing it because
Right,
Charles like ushers her out of the
Right.
line
Like
of the
it's-
mirror.
Exactly.
And Charles is like, oh, well, we got to go. And this is where I have the note where the mom could have right now
Right. She could have like
either done it herself or demanded, grabbed her by the throat and said
"Here,
to Charles,
we're doing this now."
I'm fucking hungry.
Like, does it taste better if you play with it first? Is it because they're cats?
Is it like tenderizing the meat?
He's got to bring it home like as a gift. He's got to leave it in her shoe.
Oh my God. He has to regurgitate it up in her shoe for her to have it. Because, yeah, this whole why she didn't just do something right this minute.
Right.
Because she
have.
like lets them go on their little date. She puts a little red rose behind her ear and sends them off on their merry way.
Yeah, I don't know what that, because she's like,
And especially this whole temper tantrum about you love her more than me and
Yeah,
blah, blah,
and,
blah.
like,
And you
you're
still let
fucking
him leave
starving,
the
you
house
could-
with her?
I don't
Mother.
Because she needs it fucked into her.
I guess.
She can't just, she's like, whatever. You can't just do that. It's like a whole build up to the thing. It's part of her kink.
Apparently. So yeah, she says a bunch of creepy shit about it finishes you somehow, sweets to the sweet, as I always say, which, all right.
Okay.
All right, the
right.
witch from Hansel and Gretel. Like, what do you...
She
What is
was
that?
the witch in Hansel and Gretel. And
Was
Hansel
she?
and Hansel and Gretel. Yes.
In the one with...
Wait, was she? Yes. Yes, she was.
Wow, that would be perfect.
She was. I believe she was the fucking witch in the Gretel and Hansel and Gretel, whatever that fucking was with
The 2000 and something
yeah,
one.
Yeah. Oh.
Interesting.
Oh, Oh, that's weird.
And she had asked about where'd your Trans Am go? And he's like, oh, it's in the shop. That's my mom's Mustang. Or she interrupted,
right,
that's my
car
mom's.
people. Right.
So they take the Mustang to the graveyard. And Charles actually does bring
Right.
rubbing materials, not in a sexy way.
I want to know
Yeah.
that there was some rubbing going on out here. Was it her?
She was the
her.
witch
She
in
was the
Hansel
witch
and Gretel.
in Hansel and Gretel.
That's
hilarious.
She did great, I'm sure, because just based on
I
this
mean, it's
performance alone.
Scary as hell.
She was really scary, and the movie was okay, but it's cooler to look at than it is as a movie to watch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So she brings her camera. Tanya's got her camera. Charles is doing his rubbings, and she's taking pictures of him. Mm-hmm. And meanwhile, the Mustang has decided it's tired of being a Mustang,
Right,
and it
it
wants to be a
turns
Trans Am again, and it
back
just
into the
turns
Trans
back
Am.
into what it was before.
And meanwhile, Andy and Clovis are just out there on their rounds. They're out driving around. So now he disappears, or kind of disappears, and she's like,
Kind of sneaks up on her and scares her.
startles her, and then they fall and roll and do the whole
And they kiss, and then she's like, oh, I'm sorry. And she's like, no sorries, and kisses him some more. Mm-hmm. And she asks if he really feels alone, like his story, because she does.
right.
And she starts saying all this romantic stuff, and he's trying to
I
stop
know.
her. And for whatever reason, as much feeling as he seemed to have for
I
this girl
know.
up until this moment, and with her not doing anything to ruin that,
No.
her continuing to feed
Right.
into this
She's
romance,
like, she's open
and she
to
wants
it.
to
She's
make
not
out.
resisting.
She's ready to bone in the fucking boneyard.
Yeah, that's what the whole point of her pulling him out here was, to take his ass to Homeland and give him a home run.
And then he just starts getting wild. He starts
Right.
biting at her lips, and she's
I know,
like,
she's
whoa, whoa,
like,
whoa.
hold the fuck on. He
I
gets
thought
her
we
getting-
understood each other. Tanya.
Right? What the
From
fuck
that
is
tone
this?
of voice, I'm like,
Nope.
I just dried up, sir. You
Right.
better get the fuck off of me.
I'm done.
And like I said, so if it was that he either can't get the life force because, unless they're willing,
Like
or
if
if it tastes better if they're willing, he ain't
something.
doing much work to get her to be willing.
Right, not in that way.
All he had to do was keep kissing her and suck her fucking life force out. The end. There didn't
Right?
need to be any of this.
It's because it's
game
not
playing.
his mom.
And
He like
I
only
guess
can like
make love to
enjoy
his mom.
fucking his mom. I know. I don't like to say it.
Isn't this the excitement you were talking about, Tanya?
Tanya.
The way he keeps
Oh,
saying
God, I
Tanya.
fucking hate it. You know what it reminds me of? It was Grace Under Fire. Brett Butler.
Mm-hmm.
There was a stand-up that she did, and it was like when she talks about little baby girls being named Tanya, and then like when the baby girl finds out, no, not fucking Tanya.
Oh, yeah.
That was a funny bit.
Not the best name.
No.
So he's like, it doesn't have to. Well, he's like slapping her around
Right?
and shit.
Like,
It doesn't
now
have to
he's like-
hurt Tanya.
Well, then fucking why are you doing this?
This is just how we live. And then he like shows her his cat face.
And she's like, oh, fuck no.
And he's like getting a little bit of her life
Right,
force
he
at a
starts-
time. He keeps
right.
like sucking little purple bits out of her.
Little purple bits.
And I don't think you're entering into the spirit of this. Why don't
Right.
you just think of yourself
As
as lunch? Like he gets all.
I don't
This was not his
understand.
personality at
No.
all through this movie.
This is why you have to keep moving, you fucking dumbass.
No. There's probably much quieter, stealthier. And if you've been doing this for a long time, like it seems
Have
like.
you not learned that there's easier ways? If you just would have
Yes.
stayed the course and like maybe fingered her a little bit.
I was gonna
like,
say,
it's
if you
probably
waited till she
never
was on the
happened.
edge,
Right?
You could
You
have
got-
just you could have
yeah.
got it out in one.
And
she wouldn't
and
have known.
If you finger her, she's still a virgin.
And she would have died happy.
Exactly.
But no, you got to be a dick about it.
I know. I don't understand how that works. If that's like a sleepwalker thing, it feels like that's a hitch in the giddy up there.
So she swings her camera around at him, nails him in the forehead, and you
Right.
think knocks him out because he's like bleeding and everything.
Seriously, and she goes to run, and this stupid fucking bitch.
She looks back and he looks like normal, not like a cat anymore. So she's like,
run, bitch.
"Oh, let me go."
After what just
Let me go
happened?
see.
No, after what
I don't
just
care if he's a
happened-
cat or not.
I
He's a
don't give
rapist. So
fuck.
go.
Yes.
What do you care what's wrong with him if he's dead?
I don't care
Go.
if he's dead or not. You could tell the fucking sheriff. The sheriff already. Who the fuck knows this kid? You're Tanya fucking Robertson, that
Right?
lives in Travis, Indiana. You work at the fucking movie theater.
So-
Tell him he tried to rape you.
He, of course, sits up, peek a baby.
Oh, you fucking stupid bitch.
I lied. It does have to hurt.
Oh, well,
And she grabs,
okay.
and he pushes her down. Feed me, Tanya. Mother's hungry. she grabs his corkscrew. So should she bring wine?
That's
This
what I
teenager
wanna know.
brought wine on this picnic. I feel like
She
there
bring
was a part.
Martinelli's?
I think I was taking notes at the time, but in my memory, I think there is a part in the kitchen when she's packing where she sneaks.
Oh,
And there's like
sneaks
where
a
her
little bit
mom's
of
about to
wine.
walk in and she like sneaks a little bottle of wine in there.
She's
so
like,
yeah.
hey, I plan on
She was-
losing it.
You could have got her a little tipsy,
I'm saying
sunk a
he
ditch.
could have fucking
and easily
handled
just-
this. Just sucked it right up.
Yeah, she would have just thought mid-orgasm, like, oh, you lose your breath.
This is what
Or
happens.
something, yeah. It lights up purple when you come.
Yeah, this must be. I didn't know.
Seriously.
She
he's
has no
fucking it up.
idea.
So yeah, she
What a surprise. You're like, whoa! And then you
she
die.
pokes his eye out with this corkscrew and has it like dangling off the end of her corkscrew. And she's like still waving it at
I
him with his
know.
eyeball.
Apparently, this got really close to getting a NC-17
Oh, really?
rating but for the violence,
Oh.
not the mother-son fucking, but
Okay.
the violence. And I guess this was part of it. Was like the corkscrew thing was grosser, and then her biting off the Ron Perlman's fingers.
Oh, it was
like,
grosser.
more graphic, like she spits it back out in his face or something, and it was like on the verge of an NC-17.
I've never even heard of
imagine.
an NC-17 for violence. It's always for sex.
That's what I thought.
That's what I
too,
thought.
But apparently, well, this is pretty fucking tame, to be quite honest. Like,
Yeah,
it's
it's
gory,
not that
but
crazy.
It's silly.
Yeah.
It's silly.
So she takes off running, and Andy and Clovis come across a Trans Am just as she's running
this
out. Help,
motherfucker.
help.
I knew we'd find him. And Andy.
Oh, I don't need any backup. She's
No.
bleeding. She's
She's,
telling
like,
you his
crying,
face is
whatever,
changing.
and,
He
like-
is not human.
Well, and he believes her because
Yeah, 'cause he's seen it.
But let me not like look behind me.
And here he come with the pen. And where'd the pen? Oh, I guess from his rubbings, he had a pencil.
Oh, maybe like right in his fucking
Right
ear.
in Andy's ear. Cop kebab! And like it gets, like I said,
I mean,
the
it's
personality shift
It's bizarre.
is bizarre and a bit goofy for sure. So yeah, he
That's
thinks
why
he's
I
dead.
love this so much because it's ridiculous.
He pulls her out of the car by her feet, but Andy's still alive and getting up with his gun.
He shoots him.
I don't
and
believe
nothing
you fired a
happens.
warning shot, officer. So he shoots him. He grabs his gun and shoots him back.
Oh no! And then
And
here comes
Clovis, who for
Clovis.
some reason has been waiting until now.
Come on, Clovis.
You could have saved Andy, Clovis.
You could have.
And instead,
Nope.
he waits till that moment, but he attacks and he's like
And it's
scratching
like he's
him
all
up and he's
smoking.
smoking. Yeah, so
I don't
cat scratches burn sleepwalkers
Cat
apparently,
scratch fever.
which is why it started with
That-
the scratch and the fire.
Yes. It all makes sense now.
So Tanya gets in the cop car, locks all the doors, and uses the CB to call for help. And Charles, because he's all freaked out by getting scratched
Right,
by the
he-
cat, just takes off in his car.
Jumps in his car and takes off. So now
And Clovis goes and says goodbye to Andy.
Oh, like
Goes and
Andy
sits
didn't
on
deserve
his
that
chest.
shit.
He didn't.
He was probably like 2 weeks from retirement.
He
just
was like
needed
35.
One more rodeo. I know. 30 if he's a day.
So now mom is cooking dinner at home, trying to be sexy with peaches next to raw chicken.
Oh, this is where she's got the yes.
Where there's this close up on her wet, peachy hands, but there's also a plate of bloody
this
chicken
is
wings.
where she's got the chicken.
Yeah.
It's so gross next to her fruit. What is she making? A chicken fruit
I know,
salad?
a peach chicken something.
Well, no, she
I don't
tells
know.
him like it's a turkey fucking dinner. She's
No, that
making?
was earlier, I think, when they
Oh,
had the
that's
chicken,
right.
and they had a full on like chicken with mashed
It was like a
potatoes and
turkey
asparagus.
dinner
Yeah, it
with
was like a
stuffing
full.
and whatever.
Yes.
So they eat food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They eat regular food.
It was a fancy feast.
Well, and I'm
It
presuming,
was
and they
like a
ate
little
at the
tin.
last town. So how often do they have to suck souls? Because they just got the little girl with the braces that we
Get
saw
me
in the
Stephen
beginning.
King on the horn.
Is this once a month? Is this once a year? What are we
Mr.
talking?
King.
How often
'Cause
do
the
we
only
need a
thing-
soul?
That book does not exist. So, Mr. King, you need to tell us. What is Sleepwalker lore? I must know.
Yes, we
like,
must
how
know.
often do they feed? Are there more? Is incest just a Brady thing? Or is it like.
And
a
do all the
Sleepwalker
lady
thing?
cats only get fed by cum, or do they
Right,
also
or,
just
like,
get to
do they
eat
get-
themselves direct from the source?
Exactly. I feel like because it would be like lions.
What do the
like,
lesbians do? There are no lesbian
there are
sleepwalkers.
no
They got to
gay
bone dudes just to eat.
sleepwalkers and like lesbian sleepwalkers.
I know. And what did she do when he was a little kid? Like that's what I mean.
I
Where
know.
I
like,
want a
how did
prequel
they
to this.
grow? How long do they live?
Because what did she do if the dad wasn't around and she's just been alone with him forever? How was she eating until he became of age to start bringing girls home?
Right. Was she like trolling the preschools that she put him in, or what?
Oh God, was she having him suck the souls out of little children?
5-year-old.
Oh, and then like fucking it into her?
Oh,
I'm
it gets
just saying, that's fucking Sleepwalker
worse.
lore, apparently.
Mick Garris, Stephen King, get at us. Somebody
yes,
tell us what's
please,
happening.
Let us know. We need to know more.
So yeah,
about
now
the
there's like
Sleepwalkers.
100 cats congregated in
now
this
they're
fucking
all
yard.
fucking out there.
And Charles pulls up and stumbles inside, and she's so excited, but not for long.
Oh, you're hurt. And he's like, you're right. You were right.
And so cut to him shirtless on the couch, all half Catman, while she rubs this bubbling salve into his cuts.
And what is the salve? Also,
What's the
Mr.
salve?
Garris,
Is it
Mr.
magic
King,
salve?
Is it a magic Sleepwalker salve, or is it just like a
The way it looked, it was like straight hydrogen peroxide when she put it on there.
I know, like
It was
what
like Vaseline and hydrogen peroxide.
It's like Vicks Vapor Rub.
That's it. So she's like, they have to stay until he's stronger, but he's like, but they're coming for me.
Right,
Like I
the
attacked
car
this
is
fucking
out there,
girl and
there's
killed a
cop
cop.
out
Yeah.
there and whatever. And he's like, I can't make myself I can't dim myself.
So he tries, but he just can't hold it for very long. So she's
Right,
like,
right.
I'll do it for both of us. I'll take care of you.
So now back at the cemetery,
And that's where all the horror directors are now, or
Stephen
writers.
King insists that he's got nothing to do with this shit, and nobody
I don't need this
cares.
action.
Nobody cares.
I lock up the cemetery. I don't need this action. He keeps trying to say that line to
Nobody
everyone, and they're like,
cares.
sir.
I know. They're like, just move it along. Like some girls, and she's been hurt.
Well, they
A
only
cop
worry
got
about
killed.
this dead cop, probably.
Well, also that because fucking Ron Perlman shows up
The state police.
talking about how like she probably
Well, he isn't there
needs a-
yet. So there's like the
Oh,
whole
that's
scene
right,
there,
it's
and the
later
crime photographer's taking her picture when she remembers the camera.
Oh,
I took
she's
his
like,
picture.
I took his picture. If you develop those pictures, you'll see what he looks like, and this is where he lives, and this is what he drives. But it was like, it was a different car when we got here, and he left in a different car. So I don't know.
I
what's
know
going-
I sound crazy, but this is what
I
happened.
know. And that lizard guy
Yes, from
of Real Genius.
Real
No, Summer School.
Summers. No,
No.
a different one.
Fuck, the lizard
just one of the
guy.
guys.
Charno?
Yes,
Yes.
Sue Charno's in it. But what other? He's been in a bunch of movies. But what was he? The lizard guy in?
lizard-
One of the guys.
Just one of the guys. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. The lizard guy from Just One of the Guys.
And
He
so
was in
she
there.
asks, she sees Clovis in the other car, and when the sheriff says he's going to come by later to ask her questions, she's like, "Can you bring the cat? Because
The
he
cat
saved my life."
Yes.
So now Mom is still back nursing Charles back to
That
health.
sheriff is like, are her parents aware that a class 1 assault did not
Yeah, they're
occur?
aware she narrowly avoided being raped.
by this asshole? Yeah. So anyhow, back at
The Brady, household. The Brady
bunch.
Oh no,
It's
not
just
at
2
all.
of them, though. It's not a bunch of. There's a bunch of cats.
And he's like, "I'm dying." She's like, "No,
No, you're not.
my
You're
boy is
never
not going
dying.
to die."
Ever.
She throws her glass across the room, and then you hear the sirens coming.
Oh no.
So she dims the car out front.
Yeah.
And like it probably would have taken less energy to pull it into the garage earlier, but
I
you
mean,
know,
but
it was
whatever.
right in front of a garage. But
Yeah, well, she was concerned with Charles. Well, apparently, she has the power to do all of this. She could dim the car, she could dim herself, she
And
could
dim him.
Charles.
but she's starving. And
I know,
Yeah,
but
and
she
turn the
can't-
record player on in
She
a
could
little
turn
bit.
the record player on all with her mind. It's bizarre.
So now the cops are telling him come out with his hands up and
Mm-hmm.
empty, and she makes him dim right the moment before they bust open the door.
Right, and now no one's in here.
And now here's where Soames, Ron Perlman, shows up. He like busted in the other door when he wasn't supposed to,
Right,
and the
he was
sheriff's
I
like,
told you to relax.
I said wait for my cue. Oh, I thought you gave it. I thought you gave
come
your
on.
word.
Well, we all know that he's intense.
And the deputy outside.
He's a cat person.
That's right. Well, yeah, because he's like a
Like in
beast,
real
but he
life.
was kind of a lion, right? In that Beauty
But
and the
that's a
Beast, was
cat
he not
person.
kind of lion-like?
Kind of a little bit because he's got that face.
And do we not have another Ron Perlman coming up right after this? Aren't we doing
do.
City of Lost
We're
Children
doing back-to-back
next
Ron
week?
Perlmans.
Back-to-back Ron Perlmans.
Back-to-back Ron Perlmans. We love him.
We do.
We love him.
So the sheriff has a look around, and he gets a chill right by where they're dimmed on the couch.
Right. He's like, ooh.
And Soames asks him what's going on, and he's like, cold draft. Oh, use one right now, could you? No, dude. I felt a cold draft.
Come on.
So
Come
Soames
on.
checks upstairs, doesn't find anything, and he's like, oh, this girl's just hysterical. She just
Right.
needs a good smack on the butt.
And if her parents won't do it, I will.
I'll happily volunteer. And the sheriff's like, stay away from her.
Yeah, like you need to move counties. Someone needs to look into this.
Meanwhile, back at the Robertson house, Deputy fucking Horace.
He's out here getting fed.
He is eating all their food up.
Mayberry ass motherfucker.
He was.
Whatever. Tanya's mom is like,
here, fine. Have a second helping, I guess.
Or third, whatever. And he's like, this is the best meal I've had since my wife passed on.
I didn't even hear him say that.
He did. He probably killed her. She probably
killed herself.
Probably.
She's like, fuck, I'm just nonstop cooking.
I'm done with Horace's head ass.
So Tanya's in this bath. Oh, this bath. I want it. It's like a wall that's a fucking bath.
It's a wall bath. I don't know, for some reason it gives me, and also because she kind of looks like her, it gives me the Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yes, yeah.
A little bit for some reason.
I could see that.
Like it's the lighting or the coloring or something, and she also looks like.
Plus, she hallucinates Charles is there when she closes her eyes.
That's also true. That's also true.
And it's this little scene where, like, her dad comes to the door, like, your mom will keep your supper warm for you.
I don't
love
feel like
you.
eating, because her mom is like, she's been up there a long time.
Well, I think it was her dad, and her mom's like, she just needs to get clean.
I know. Oh,
just leave her alone.
Yeah, let her.
But he can't. He's like, he needs to know she's at least like not drowned herself in this bathtub.
Lime and wart. She's not popped open a vein in the fucking bathtub, has she?
And so she's just like, call me when the sheriff gets here with the cat.
Right.
So the cops are staking out the Sleepwalker house when the front door shuts all by itself.
Right. They're like, what the fuck is going on out there? Like something's moving around out there. And they get out
to investigate.
Come on. I thought they were outside of the Robertson house and Horace was inside of the Robertson house.
This is just when they're still, this is just her coming out of her own house to get to the Robertson house. So this is, she's been dim inside with her kid.
Right. And she takes
They're watching her house to see, are they coming back or what's going on? Because they didn't find them. And so she comes out, smacks their heads together like the fucking Three Stooges.
Woo, 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 woo.
You're right. That was not the fucking wind. What is her accent? Where's Mary Krige from?
Alice Krige?
Alice Krige. Mary Brady, Alice Krige.
I know. Like every time I see her, I think of this fucking movie. She might as well. She's a sleepwalker. That's what it is.
That's the accent.
She's a sleepwalker. But yeah,
it's like old Romania or something.
Or something. She's got
South African.
Is she now?
She certainly is.
Interesting.
I did not know that.
So then the doorbell rings at the Robertson house, and the deputy looks outside like, "Oh, it must be Soames because it's a state police car."
Right, because she took the car.
Took the cop car.
That's what it is. Yeah. Okay. All right.
And so he like gives the dad the okay to open the door, and here come Mary Brady with some roses.
Could you imagine being the dad? And she
the mother of the boy who just tried to rape and kill your daughter.
Here, but he's like,
your daughter hurt my son.
My face. If I were dad, would be like,
She smashes the dad in the face with this vase of roses and just lets herself in. I don't think so. I feel like both the parents lived.
Yeah, I feel like it too.
But it doesn't really. It shows the mom get up later, but it doesn't show the dad get up later.
No, you don't.
So you don't know.
Get up because I thought mom was dead too because she was laid out.
She was laid out for a while.
The rest of the cops came.
Yes. So he smashes her, or she smashes him in the face with the roses. The mom comes in, immediately goes to the dad.
Right.
And the deputy goes to help, and she just fucking shoves him out of the way. Right. And she tells the mom, "Call your daughter. My son is badly hurt. He may be dying. Your daughter tried to kill my Charles."
Bitch, I will
and
come
she looked
at you.
And she did what we would do. She said, "Good.
Yeah.
I hope he dies."
I hope
she looked her right in the eyes.
Bitch, I'm going to get up from this fucking floor and claw your fucking
She
eyes
said, "I
out.
hope you both die and rot in hell."
Yes, motherfucker.
Hell
in fact,
yes.
I would be saying that shit as I was coming at this bitch.
And she did come at her, but she fucking twists her arm and throws her out the window because she's supernatural.
Yeah, good. I hope you both fucking die.
And the deputy wakes up and shoots at her, but misses. And now Tanya finally hears.
At her multiple fucking times. And
she must have a force field. I don't know.
No, I think he's just a terrible fucking shot.
I don't know
why they sent Horace. Although, when Horace was eating dinner, before all of this happens, that's when I remembered what happened.
What happens to Horace. There's a little bit of foreshadowing.
How big is this fucking house?
That Tanya didn't hear any of this until the gunshots?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
She didn't hear the vase breaking. She didn't hear all the yelling.
The yelling.
So the deputy goes to call the station to tell them what's happening.
Not even fucking. She's loose in the fucking house, you dipshit.
He has not even secured Mary.
He's secured shit.
And she comes behind him and stabs him in the back with a corn cob.
If you can't have your vegetables, you don't get any dessert.
Those are the rules.
Cop on the cob.
And the cats are on their way from all over town.
Clovis is rounding up the fucking troops. Clovis is like, to me!
Yeah, he calls them all in. And the cops roll up to the Robertson house, and Mom's still out on the lawn. That's when I was like, uh-oh, is she dead?
Oh, she died too? Because that's what I wrote. And then
But it's immediate because she's still dragging Tanya out the house.
Dragging her out by her hair. And she's like, give me back my daughter. She like pops right up out of nowhere when all the cops show up.
And Soames tries to stop Mary, and she bites several of his fingers off. Insane. And he goes for his gun, and she just breaks his arm and hits him kind of with his elbow bone.
Arm bone, which is nice.
And the sheriff is on his way out with a gun because he is still in the station somehow amongst all of this.
He's heading into this whole situation. He's running out of there. But she can like shoot at cars and blow them
with
up.
one shot while she's carrying this healthy girl over her shoulder. But she was starving and famished. So what can they do when they're full?
Is she so like filled with mom rage?
Is this the lifting the car, the adrenaline?
It must be.
I guess.
It must
be. So yeah, she shoots 2 cop cars and makes them explode.
Blows them up, yes.
And steals another car, puts Tanya in it. Mm-hmm. And she tries to jump out when she wakes up and she's like, we're going to see Charles. And she grabs her by the hair and drags her back into the moving car.
She tries to jump out of the car and like she drags her back into the car.
And when she pulls up and sees 100 cats in the lawn, she's like, fuck it, drive the car into the house.
She rams into the house. And like she brings Tanya to Charles. Mommy's home.
And he is not looking well.
No, he looks like hammered shit. She's all, look at him, he's dead.
Tanya's like, he's dead. No, he's just sleeping. But I bet he would like to dance. And she like, with her mind, puts on the record.
On their favorite little record.
And she like lifts him with her mind and animates him to dance with Tanya.
Let him lead.
Relax. Yeah, he's a wonderful dancer. That's a dance. And the sheriff rolls up and sees the cop car crash into the house.
He's like, what the fuck?
And Clovis is already there. I don't know where the fuck Clovis came from, but he already, because he was rounding them up.
He brought all the other cats. You could see him with his little collar, but yeah, he's all Clovis.
And Clovis just breaks an upstairs window and goes right in.
Well, he was just like, Clovis is like, this way. I know what I'm doing here.
So, and Charles suddenly snaps into, he is alive.
Yeah, he said, she's like, oh, good. Feed.
And he's got them big black eyes.
Oh, like a doll's eyes.
And he sucks the purple life out of Tanya while Mom's like,
just like Madonna. Feed.
But then Tanya plunges her fingers into his eyes.
Right into his fucking eye.
And Clovis comes in and starts attacking the mom while the sheriff blows the door off the house and comes in.
The other cats jump in and start attacking her too.
And the sheriff shoots the mom in the guts and she turns into her full cat self.
Oh, she cats out. Oh, shit.
And he just gives up. He just throws the gun and runs.
Hey, you and me, we got to get out of here. He grabs Tanya. We got to run. But Mary catches him.
Yes.
And throws him into a cat trap. And then he throws that same cat trap at
right on the back of her head.
Bah! But then she kills him.
Like she picks him up and throws him onto the picket fence.
Oh, I thought she shot him too.
She gets to the keys to the car. She gets the trap off, pulls him towards her, picks him up,
throws him on the
fence.
And
throws him onto the fence.
Right, of course.
But Clovis attacks so that Tanya can get away.
Not today, bitch. And then all the cats get Mary's ass.
She starts smoking and shit, and flames start pouring out.
Tanya cannot figure out the car keys.
Tanya doesn't drive yet.
But surely she's seen it.
She doesn't know which way to turn the key or something. I don't know.
Surely she's seen this work before. I mean, I know she's panicked.
And so she's just watching the mom burn because she can't move this car.
And whatever. And then she backs the car up into a tree. And I thought she was going to go forward and run the bitch over.
Nope. She just crashes immediately and watches her burn the rest of the way.
And then here come Clovis.
Woo!
You and me, Clovis. Just you and me. Like, not your parents.
I have what about your parents? At least one, if not both of them, are still alive.
At least your mom lived. We know
and
that.
And they know now that you aren't fucking bullshitting.
Right,
some crazy bitch who's the mom of this psycho showed up.
She's on fire right now. And I guess he died in there.
Apparently.
Or did he?
Or they never made a sequel, so we don't know.
Could you imagine if they would have made a sequel? If they would have made a sequel. Mr. King, will you please?
I want to see a prequel.
I
would see a prequel.
Give us some Sleepwalker lore. I want to see the story.
Show me the story of how they became like the quote unquote last two Sleepwalkers in America.
They are the last.
Yeah, what happened to the rest of the Sleepwalkers?
Yes, I want to know. If you could get it, Mick Garris, Stephen King, whatever. Somebody take up this mantle.
Somebody let us know.
I want to know.
So I have, pertaining to this movie, I had messaged Harry Scott from Death by DVD because I know, I don't know if they covered this movie, but I feel like he did some other Mick Garris movie, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch this, and he just said he said Clovis forever, and he's like, he said I'll defend that movie forever, but it's terrible, and I was like, I know, I love it,
I do,
but I love bad movies, and he says. Seems like someone that stayed awake for 24 days, then took an entire bottle of Benadryl and just saw the strangest, most terrible visions from sleep deprivation and the Benadryl. And the only thing they could explain later was incestual werecats are out there. And so I asked him today, I was like, about to record Sleepwalkers, and he in all caps wrote, cat dick.
Cat dick.
Cat dick, mama and son, cat dick. And
cat dick.
I said, can I read your message about the movie? And he said, LMAO, go for it. Also yell cat dick. That's my big thing. He got that cat dick.
Cat dick. And it
does it come
the life.
Wait, do cats have the thing like the dogs have where it's like a little lipstick? I don't know. I've never seen a cat dick. Cat dicks stay kind of hidden. I've had boy cats, but I've never seen their...
Right? Cat dicks stay hidden.
No, I'm not going to make Liana Google cat
dicks stay... Yeah, I want you to type this in. Cat dick, if you could. And hit
the title
images.
of this episode may very well be Cat Dicks Stay Hidden.
Cat dicks stay hidden. They're among us.
Well, because we
They're
saw them
there.
nude, but we didn't see cat dick or really cat titties. There was more of chest, which... Where are her damn 6
I
teats?
know, there needs to be teats. Yes. Where are her teats? Where Alice Krige, where are your teats?
Once again.
She's got them in real life. I don't know why she didn't have them in the movie.
Alice Krige has 6 titties, you guys.
Yes.
You are just like wasting. You have it right there.
Have you not heard? You could have just put a mask over her head and she's got 6 titties right there for you.
Oh, and I think we do have one text message. Hold up. I think we got something yesterday.
Wait a minute.
From Jason Coslet. He said, good morning and happy Friday, ladies. Finally getting to your latest episode on Ford Fairlane, and I'm fucking dying. Tessa does the New Jersey accent like a natural. Incidentally, does her husband know she dreams of beating him with a squeaky dildo? Loving this episode, and my only reply was, LOL, yeah, he probably knows. She don't hold that stuff in.
No, I don't. We're very open with each other.
I bet he knows.
Each other.
So yeah, so this one, what did it just doomed me to love. It's just cheesy horror. This is one of my early Stephen King and early cheesy horror. Like,
I love us so bad it's good.
Yeah.
I love us so bad it's good, because this is not a great movie.
No, but it's entertaining as hell.
I will always, like I said, this one was like, we have to include this.
And it's succinct. It's like, it's 90 minutes.
Right.
There's no quick, like long exposition, boring parts. Like, you get the incest right away. We get into the cat murders. We get into the
cat incest, cat murders.
Right.
Cat shape shifting.
There's always something happening.
Virgins.
And where was it available? Incest. It was on Pluto, but we couldn't get it to cast to our TVs from Pluto for some reason.
It wasn't working very well. Like, I could watch it on my phone.
Every time we hit play,
it was across the universe.
It turned into across the universe. So we're in 2 different places on 2 different phones. And now if you hit it on your phone and watch it, plays Sleepwalkers.
Right. It was totally
But the moment you hit cast and send it to your TV would play across the universe. Yes. And I tried like 5 times.
Same.
And it kept just playing across the universe.
And it said across the universe, and I still thought it was a commercial. And I was like, No, I didn't like this the
Yeah, I
first
don't know
time
why
I
that
saw this
happened.
fucking movie. I don't want to watch it now.
So if you
I
have
didn't
the
like
Pluto
it.
app on your TV, or if you just want to watch it on your phone, it will probably work either of those ways. I
Right.
don't know why we had a problem casting it though.
It was just one of those things. But if you're just gonna watch it on your phone, because really, who gives a shit? It's fucking Sleepwalkers.
You gotta
That'll
see
work.
them special effects. You gotta see that big. You can't see the cat incest
That's true.
small.
You can't. You
You
gotta watch
see
that cat.
You
dick,
gotta see
though.
if there's some cat dick though.
If you gotta put, you put it up on the big screen just to see.
just to see, just so you don't have to Google it.
They were all like,
Don't do that.
it's not veterinarily sound.
No,
I don't think it's.
I don't
for
think
real.
so.
I don't think that's what the cat.
they weren't
structures-
anatomically correct
No.
for cat-human hybrids.
No. I don't know. Maybe they were. Again, give us the prequel. Let us know.
Let us know.
Let us know.
Or
Could
maybe
you
that's
imagine
just-
if we get that shit made just by asking for it. Just because these
Like
two,
they were kind of throwing it
they
around, and then they were like, you
maybe
know
we'll do
what?
it, maybe we won't. But
People
no, like,
want a Sleepwalkers
people
prequel.
fucking want it. Like at least 2 people do. 3 people do. I do. Because I do.
Too. You think they should make iPhones for babies?
Because I do. Do you think they should make a prequel for Sleepwalkers?
Because I do. So yeah, go check it out. Leave us a voicemail. Leave us a text message, 702-720-DOOM.
Right, and come on back for something spooky because we're gonna
we're gonna keep it
continue
up
the
this
spooky
month.
things. We got our birthday month happening.
It's
So
both
we've
of our
got some
birthdays this month.
Selections for that.
And until next week.
We'll talk at you next time.
Later, Doomers.